Welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a question that sits at the crossroads of ambition and reality. Can Malaysia transform its energy system into one powered mostly by renewables? On paper, the country has set bold targets. By 2050, 70% of electricity generation should come from renewable sources. But here's the catch: Malaysia is still heavily addicted to coal, gas, and oil. So what does that mean for the future? Let's dig in. Why energy matters. Energy isn't just about keeping the lights on. It powers industries, data centers, endless shopping malls, and the aircon we all pretend we don't rely on. Right now, fossil fuels dominate the picture. Coal and gas together make up more than 70% of Malaysia's generation mix. Hydropower adds around 16%, while solar and other renewables barely register. And yet, the government has promised the world that it will achieve net zero by 2050. Lofty goals. The question is whether Malaysia can actually build the bridge from here to there. Hydropower, old giant, new question. Hydropower is the heavyweight of Malaysia's renewables. Large dams in Sarawak generate more than 6 gigawatts of capacity, about 70% of the clean energy base. It's stable and already there, but not without controversy. Dams mean environmental disruption and displacement of communities. Sarawak has branded itself as a renewable hub, touting its massive hydro projects as green energy for export. Critics argue this is a little like calling palm oil eco-friendly. Technically true, but with plenty of baggage. Solar power, Malaysia's sleeping giant. Malaysia sits in the tropics, blessed with year-round sunshine. In theory, solar could be the country's most abundant renewable source. The International Renewable Energy Agency estimates the potential at over 150 gigawatts by 2050. And yet, the installed capacity today is under 2 gigawatts. That's like owning a Ferrari and only driving to the corner store. Large-scale solar farms like this one in Serendar, Selangor are underway, and rooftop solar is slowly growing. But challenges remain: upfront costs, grid integration, and policies that shift every few years, which scare off investors. Still, if Malaysia is serious about its 2050 targets, solar is where the biggest leap must happen. Biomass and bioenergy. Palm oil's second life. Malaysia is one of the world's top palm oil producers, and with that comes mountains of agricultural residues. Much of it can be turned into electricity. Bioenergy already contributes close to 1 gigawatt of capacity. Not massive, but not trivial. The catch is perception. Palm oil has a global reputation problem: deforestation, carbon emissions, and biodiversity loss. So while bioenergy is renewable, it's not always considered green. Still, if waste residues are used rather than expanding plantations, biomass could be a smart piece of the puzzle. Other sources, the underdogs. Wind. Malaysia has breezes but not much else. Studies suggest 500 megawatts to 2 gigawatts of potential at best. Geothermal. A 30 megawatt project in Sabah collapsed. Wave and tidal power. Promising in theory, not in practice. For now, these underdogs are more about research than reality. The big challenge is: so why hasn't Malaysia scaled up faster? First, money. Renewable projects need huge upfront investment. Investors worry about policy changes and regulatory delays. Second, the grid. Built for predictable fossil fuels, it struggles with intermittent solar. More renewables mean flexible grids, storage, and smarter distribution. Third, land. Solar farms compete with agriculture, hydro alters landscapes, and biomass raises sustainability questions. Finally, governance. Malaysia is famous for bold announcements followed by delays. Investors see risk, which drives up costs. The opportunity, but Malaysia also has big advantages. Solar is practically limitless here. Combine it with batteries and microgrids, and rural Sabah and Sarawak communities could finally get reliable power. Biomass, if done right, can turn waste into revenue. Petronas is exploring hydrogen and even produced its first batch of sustainable aviation fuel with Malaysia Airlines in 2025. That could put Malaysia on the global green map. And in the region, Vietnam proved solar booms are possible, installing 16 gigawatts in just a few years. Indonesia is betting on geothermal. Malaysia can't afford to fall behind. The roadmap and the reality. The Renewable Energy Roadmap, MyRER, sets targets of 31% renewable capacity by 2025, 40% by 2035, and 70% by 2050. Ambitious, yes. Achievable, maybe. But it will require scaling up renewables at an unprecedented pace, tens of gigawatts of solar, massive investment in storage, and consistent policy support. The alternative is missing those targets, locking in fossil fuel dependence, and losing out on green investment. The bottom line: Malaysia has the sunshine. It has the rainfall. It has agricultural residues by the truckload. In other words, it has the raw ingredients to build a renewable energy future. The question is whether it can overcome the financial, technical, and political barriers. By 2050, Malaysia could be an ASEAN leader in clean energy, exporting green hydrogen and sustainable fuels. Or it could still be clinging to coal, explaining why all those sunny days went to waste.